This is question 17 on the higher non-calculator paper. Okay, reading through the question first, it says the lines y is equal to x minus 2 and x plus 10, so x plus y is equal to 10 are drawn on the grid. So there are the lines, y is equal to x minus 2, x plus y is equal to 10. On the grid, mark with a cross each of the points with integer coordinates that are in the region defined by those three inequalities. Okay, so if I just move this upwards a bit, you should be able to see all of them. Yep, there it is. So this is a question which involves inequalities and graphs. So inequalities, graphs. The first one is y is greater than x minus 2. Y is greater than x minus 2. Here is the line y is equal to x minus 2. And so y is greater than x minus 2 is everything above that, right? So I'm going to just sort of shade that bit in, right? Not sort of every single section, but that's the region of the graph which I'll be interested in for y is greater than x minus 2. So it's everything above that line. If we look at the next line, it says x plus y is less than 10. X plus y is less than 10. So there's the line x plus y, and less than 10, or x plus y is less than 10, is everything underneath that graph. So it actually includes all of this space here as well, but it's everything in this region of the graph. And where does that overlap what we've shaded in so far? Well, it's going to be this section over here, and I'm going to shade in the opposite direction, right, just to highlight that. So we're breaking the question down region by region, and we're trying to home in on the exact region that they're interested in. And I've done those a lot closer together, so yep, there it is. So now that's the only region that I'm interested in after doing those first two inequalities. And the next one, the last one, is x is greater than 3. So x is greater than 3. Now I'm gonna need to draw this line in. There is x is equal to 3, right? And the line x is equal to 3 is everything on that vertical line. So this here is the line x is equal to 3. But we're interested in x is greater than 3. Now for x is greater than 3, it's everything on this side here. So it's all of this space. But where does that overlap with the region that we've been interested in so far? Well, it's this triangle over here that's going to be the bit that we're interested in. And I'm going to shade that in as well. So what this tells me is that all three of those inequalities are describing this region of the graph, right? So this region here of the graph is what is being described by those three inequalities. But the question says, if I go back to it, on the grid, mark with a cross each of the points. So because it says points, plural, that means there's more than one answer, and there are several points with integer coordinates. Now the word integer, you should know what this means, but it means whole numbers. Okay, so it's whole number coordinates like 3, 3, or 1, 2, or stuff of that sort that are in the region defined by, so the whole number coordinates that are inside this region. Now, if I look at this, because I've shaded it in, it's maybe a bit more difficult to see, but that there is where the lines crisscross. That's 4, 5. That there is another coordinate, 4, 4. That there is another possible answer, 4, 3. Over there is another possible answer, 5, 4. I'm not going to choose any of the points on these lines themselves, because all of these inequalities, they're greater than or less than or greater than, they're not greater than or equal to, so we're not including the points on the lines themselves. I'm just checking this again to see that I haven't missed any out. So I'm going to put my crosses there, and so there are 4 possible answers. The question just said mark in with a cross, right, the points with integer coordinates, and that's my answer. Now this is a relatively tricky question. It's one of the first times I've seen a question put in this particular form. It's one that is quite doable, and it is pretty straightforward once you know how. Now you've seen it, make sure if you get one similar to it, you can do it yourself and get full marks.